Okay, I'm doing something. I'm sinning by making this video because I'm speaking into a camera instead of living out in the real world and just experiencing my life. But I have a lot of thoughts, so I think I'll share them. I think this is a different sort of approach to making a YouTube video. You know, it seems like it's hard to balance between the world of ideas, the administrative class, um, worlds where you're meant to be thinking about things very much disconnected from the immediate reality, and then just the world of the mass person, which in some regard is very vulgar, in another regard is kind of unseen or unknown. So it's kind of wrong to just generalize and say that one knows exactly what's going on in like mass culture. But I've been around people who are kind of, people who pay attention to the news, pay attention to politics, pay attention to the meaning of the construction of the world. And it's not a fully uncommon thing if you're very like busy, if you work an important job or something, or you've worked a job for a long time and now you're important and you have to keep up with these things and connect with the world and perceive like the international system. And then there's people who are just living their lives. And in some regard, I think it is fair enough to say actually that among a lot of those people, there's like a similar a similar set of prejudices that they have, or like, archetypal perspectives that are predictable. And when that is the case among a person, when you meet them or see them and hear people speak in passing and things of that nature, it's unfortunate because it is confirming, like, okay, in some sense, yeah, there are just kind of simplistic people out there. Then there's people who you don't know what's going on with them or what they're like or what they believe in. And it's so hard to ever figure out how. Weren't there people? I see so much disgusting content online that makes me hate all of mankind. And then it's like there's people living their lives that have nothing to do with that. Right? So why would I then be, what the fuck? What is this? What a bunch of whiplash in a society. So I don't know. It's helpful, I think, to just talk about it, right? But, dude, what the fuck? This is weird. This is too much of a. It's too much. This technological era. I'm not anti technology, and there are. All I'm speaking of is just a certain like particular facet of the technological world, and not like a core fundamental principle. But this is weird that we um, like have these machines around us that say the most insane shit ever, right? Like, or at least the insane, or it seems that way because the insane shit sticks out so much, right? And then also real people fuel it too, which is then like believe, then the real world changes. And then, for me, I get paranoid because I think, do I have to keep track of all the junk online and the internet culture because it's in the real world? No, it's better to stay away from it. But um, I just know for a fact I've been in the world before, and I've just seen how it was not good. Like even real life can be really bad. It can be as bad as the internet or worse. And I kind of I if I can identify a regret I have in my life this early on, it's that fact that I've seen too much that makes me judge mankind. And and not even just online stuff, like real world stuff, because that shouldn't be even common, and that should be perceived as like an anomaly in some regard, but it maybe when life seems good or the people seem okay, why is it that is that standard or is that an anomaly at this point? I don't know. I really don't know, man. But I don't know. I don't know why it's even like when I see people who go on the street and interview people, it could be that they're clustering around communities that are effectively the real world counterparts of an internet presence. So maybe they're more statistically likely to even just meet people in the real world who are, in fact, a greater reflection of the internet. That lengthy preface being to say, I've been puzzled by the content of people who are on the ground interviewing people, finding people who are reflections of the web. When I see information like that, I start to just become dismissive of people generally because I'm like, okay, then the garbage I see online is what the world is. So just avoid it. It's icky. It's gross. And I said this in the last video, but it's really easy to understand what's on the internet because you can use it privately and it's so controlled and it's just right in front of you and you can spend ages on it and think that you're seeing the world and you can encounter a ton of people who would be affirming that conception because they're in the same boat. But it isn't the world. But the problem is getting to know the world is so fucking like daunting because it can be at least totally different. Maybe increasingly less so because the internet is spilling out everywhere, but I mean the range of difference that's permissible in the analog world versus the real West. This sounds so stupid. Like in the analog, like you mean the fucking world, but you know what I mean. It just is this at this point where we have to distinguish the two, where one doesn't seem more superior than the other necessarily, but in the actual fucking world, it's way more complicated and uncertain. I don't know. Maybe I need to just start asking questions more in real life or talking more or something, and then maybe I'm gonna do something that makes somebody fucking hate me, or I'll weird them out, I'll bother them, I'll bug them. I don't know. I have a lot of experiences of me like dealing with normal people and trying to be my unfiltered self, and they don't handle it. That's another regret I have. I seriously regret that fact. That shouldn't be common. So then I hop online. I speak to the camera because nobody can. If you're here and you've made it to this point in the video, you've done so out of your own free will. You can't get angry at me for saying weird things or expressing ideas that you don't have any familiarity with. But I know in my soul that is not satisfying. That's not a way to live. My soul craves real world experience and an intuitive reality that I don't have to think too deeply about. I don't have to think too deeply about in the sense that I don't need to come up with all these super contrived, ambitious orchestrations to simply become happy or feel comfortable. You know? Why is it like this, dude? What the hell? We live in like such a great country in many ways. I mean, the rest of the world kind of sucks. You know, Europe is poor. They have extreme, like they're way more inegalitarian, and they're like way more hierarchical, and opportunity is more closed there. And they don't have economic growth. You know, Asia's probably all right if you're Asian at this point. It's been doing all right the last few decades. Has some big problems, but and then global South, it's like, forget it. I mean, I don't mean to be rude to the people there. It's just that the circumstances that they're in are way less advantageous than what's in the West. But they say, I think, isn't it Nigerians are the happiest people on earth? So maybe again, it's complicated, but yeah, fuck me, man. What the hell? All right, this was helpful, I guess, for me if you didn't get anything out of it. Goodbye.